See, this is a humble person. She's like, I know everything. But she realized that she could learn something new and walk away from that room smarter than she was. And most people don't want to do that. They want to enter the room, take the little knowledge they have, showcase it, and walk out of the room with the same amount of knowledge. Why? I tell you, little things like that make big differences in life. When I'm at a party and someone comes up and talks to me and I hear that accent, I go, oh, are you from Spain? People notice, like, oh, that's a smart guy. And so she learned a new thing. She's like, are you fucking stupid? That's all I can think, and I don't care anymore. I've learned, my mentor told me, Ty, don't try to teach a pig to fly. Can't do it, and it bothers the motherfucking pig. Like, people, I'm not a slow fucking person. I've been a high IQ person, but people are just, it's a combination of ego, stubbornness, sensitivity, all these things that make people broke, poor, unhappy. Everything you want comes from learning shit. The only thing that separates humans from every other animal species is we can actually think through things at a deeper level, and we can go further, and we can understand our own animal instincts. No other animal can do that. We can go, oh, my primal instinct is to be stubborn because 100,000 years ago in a primitive society, stubbornness worked because there was no variables. There was no economics, there was no jobs, there wasn't even language. So being stubborn was great if you were born in the Pleistocene era or shit like that as a different species. It's not valuable in the modern world. So only people, and that's why I said it's so fascinating, because you would think the most cocky people, you would think the people who would listen the least would be the people who've done the most. I got a question for you. And my first thought is, this dude's smart, and he's asking me. And at the end of this talk, I was like, this dude tricked me. And I rarely get tricked by people. And I was like, you know why? He got me talking the whole time. Which means he was gathering data and giving no data. And then he walked away smarter. There you go. That's the formula. Their mindset in the current state is the mindset of somebody who's going to lose at whatever they try. So I don't care how fucking smart you think you are, shit like that. If you're not excited to be around somebody smarter than you, and if you can't recognize and differentiate in the room, like, so fucking smart, and it's not even smart like you would think. Most observant person. Ask me the most questions. Why would he ask me? He asked me more questions than you have ever asked me. But he already has $3 billion and you don't. So sometimes I try to make sense of it. I'm like, how does that make sense? Every broke person who comes in here, they say, Ty, I want you to show me tricks in a business. And they ask like 1.5 questions. They're half-hearted ones. They're like cocky, arrogant, prove me like, well, Ty, you said this, but I think this. It's just, it's called a dilettante is the technical word. Someone who knows this much, just enough to think they're smart. They never accomplish anything, but they're already cocky about it. They can't play basketball, but they think they're the baddest guy on the court. So my simple answer to you is, what I was telling you, that stubbornness shit, you can do whatever you want. And I told you, I'm at the point where I remember what Alan Nation told me. Ty, don't try to teach a pig to not be stubborn. You can't do it, and when you do it, the pig gets mad at you. He was a farmer. So I'm not calling humans pigs. That's just what he told me as a farmer. You can't, if a pig doesn't want to learn, just leave them alone. They're gonna squeal, and they turn around and bite your ass. It's funny, different, Jesus Christ, if you're Christian, said, do not throw your pearls to swine, because they will eat the pearls, and then they'll turn and bite you. When I was a little kid, I heard that and I was like, that makes no sense. Then I got older and I was like, holy shit, you can literally give people the pearls. Like, you want to know how this works? Here you go. And they'll go, boom. And when you eat pearls, it means you don't value them. You don't realize that a pearl's worth pearls can be worth $1 million. If I handed you pearls and you ate them, what would everybody think of you?
Retard.
Yeah, but imagine then after you ate them, you turn around and punch me in the face. That's why a lot of times people ask me, I'm like, I don't want fucking to teach people that much. People ain't ready. They're not ready to learn. They gotta learn a hard motherfucking way. They got to go through hell and back. And then at some point when it's too late, when they're 60 years old, I get a lot of 60-year-olds come to me and go, where was all this information when I was 18? I'm like, it's probably there, you were too fucking stubborn. And that's the punishment. You get to be 60 years old and wake up. And that's why the average American is 60 and has $60,000 shared, saved up. That's it. And then Americans end up, and you know, America's a country without much social net. You fuck up in life, ain't nobody gonna help you unless you have family. And people end up, it's a tragedy. You got millions of people poor, I see it all the time. I didn't grow up around money, but I have to think sometimes it's the penalty for having been fucking stubborn for 40 or 50 fucking years. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it's hard luck, but some of those cases. And so when I meet people that are 18 and stubborn, I'm like, 20 and stubborn, I'm like, come on, man. That's why my life now, show me the needle in the haystack. You give me a needle haystack, you can teach them principles. The principles work. And I need people that are excited to learn. And it's just, it makes me fucking sick in the world that people, because I remember how hard it took me to learn this shit. And I'll tell you, if I go back in time and meet somebody who would share that shit, I'd be like, yo, can you tell me that shit? Because I had to read 5,000 or 10,000 books. And I know most people ain't gonna do that. So why wouldn't you want to learn from somebody? And it's just, it's crazy. And you hear all these stupid things in the world, just go with your heart and you can figure it out on your own. Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? You'll never, how many heart surgeons figured it out by going with their heart? Oh, you know, I just fucking, somebody was having a heart attack and I just went up to him and I was like, I just feel like the way to fix this is like, I'm gonna make an incision here, I'm going to, no, fuck that. You train to be good. You train. Somebody just was like, woke up and like, I think I know how to piece together this car. This airplane, I can make an airplane. We don't even need two wings. I feel like we just put one wing on the top and then, no, fuck that. The world's precision. There's rules that you follow and the plane flies. There's rules that you follow and shit works out in your life. And you break the rules, ain't nobody coming to save you. But the good news is, if you follow the rules, you should be excited. But if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, because you don't listen, and you don't know who's in the room, and you argue with people that are, you know what I've learned? Confidential what he told me, but it was interesting that he thought of life like I think of life, like golden nuggets. Grab fucking golden nuggets from everywhere you go. And he wasn't stubborn, and he said a lot of things like this, like, why do you think that? See, if you could take one thing from this video, smart people say, that's not what I think, but what makes you say that? When I meet somebody like that, I faint, because I meet it once a year. Or when someone doesn't agree with you, and your first instinct is, wait a sec, that's not what I thought, but what makes you say that? Because you seem smart. That is, like the girl in the car when we're driving, where her gut instinct, do I come off as an idiot? Do I come off as somebody who doesn't know shit? I know a little bit about life. So her first reaction is just, no. Well, why would you do that? That's what I was saying with you about Hexaco. Your first reaction should be, when I say, I don't think you're high on agreeableness, you should be like, why do you think that? That's not what I thought. That's a smart person. And it's such a rare trait that literally I can go a year without finding it. And it turned out at the end, he shut me down, like he disagreed. But he let me talk for 10 minutes trying to figure out, and I know why. Because he was going, maybe this dude knows something I don't. Maybe this guy knows something I don't. It turned out maybe I did it. Turned out he was smarter than me. But he was interested. He was entertaining the thought. That's what I was trying to tell you. It started. Personality types is one of the things I fucking know. The odds of you meeting somebody who knows as much about personality types as me is infinitesimal. Because I've gotten trained by some of the smartest dudes.